Hello everybody, I'm Maxi. Welcome to a new episode. It has been a major culture shock for me when I watch international news or when I go abroad that many people still get so triggered when they hear ideology words like communism. That feels so 40 years ago for me because that's what we do here 40 years ago. I'm not saying I was born 40 years ago, and it is now not surprising to me that this channel, which has China in its name, sometimes got labeled as communism. And that's why I decided to make this episode. The Communist Socialist Dark Magic series continues. Let's have a look at the 5 most commonly used communist jokes here in China, in case some people come here and got frightened when hearing this kind of things because they think it's some secret agents operating. Okay, let's get started. Let's learn how to talk like an authentic communist. Okay, the first, sometimes you may hear some people here say 去见马克思了. Literally means when you see Karl Marx. And this is a joking way to say someone is dead. This way of saying is adopted from when you see God. But you know, in our timeline, communism and atheism are somehow a set meal. So for a supposedly communist country, there should not be a God, and as a result, you are not supposed to say when to see God. So some people decided to use Karl Marx instead, because he is the one who wrote the Communist Manifesto. Actually, I always think there is some problem in this logic, because for supposedly atheist ideology, he should have been just recycled into the universe. There shouldn't be an atheist or communist or socialist heaven there for you to see him after you die. But because this saying felt so funny, so people kept using it. So when you hear some people casually talking about someone died, they may say 去见马克思了. He or she went to see Karl Marx. By the way, speaking of this, China is actually not a strictly atheist country if you don't know it yet. Though the majority of people now, especially the young generations, basically all have a materialist and atheist mindset thanks to the mandatory science education, I think. But in fact, it's not a strictly atheist country. You can practice whatever religion you believe in, as long as it's not a cult that promotes killing people or harming others or harming yourself or doing scams. As long as they don't do those, you are free to practice your religion. In the west regions of China, you can find many Muslim communities. And then in the southeast coastal regions, it's more common to see some Christian families. And then in Tibet, you can see many Tibetan Buddhists. By the way, Tibetan Buddhists are not just Buddhists living in Tibet. Tibetan Buddhism is an independent branch of Buddhism. And then all over the country, you can see many people, especially older people, going to Buddhist and Taoist temples to do some casual worshipping. So, religion is not forbidden here. It's just that you cannot go out and preach to others and try to convert people to your religion or try to regulate the people based on your religion. And then during the mandatory education, schools teach materialism and atheism. That's how it works here. What were we talking about in this part again? Oh yeah, 去见马克思了. When you see Karl Marx, it means someone is dead. Okay, the second communist joke that many people use is called 朝阳群众. The literal meaning is the people in the Chaoyang district in Beijing, but the real meaning is some mysterious nosy people that may report you to some authority. Okay, how do we explain this joke? So first, you need to know what a 群众 is. If you use things like Google Translate, sometimes they translate it to the people, sometimes they translate it to the mass. And if you look at the characters, it seems like it is talking about the people, but it's not just the people. You see, in China, sometimes when we fill some formal documents, we need to write our political status. This usually happens in school or when you apply for certain kinds of jobs. So when doing this, if you are a party member, you write you are a party member, or some people may write they are members of some sub-organizations of the party. And then for people like me, who are neither, we write 群众. I didn't apply to join the party, and I'm now too old for its sub-organizations, so now I am 群众. So basically this word means the ordinary mass. That's a 群众. And 朝阳群众 is different. They are now like an urban legend. There have been a lot of cases, criminal cases, I mean like celebrities doing drugs, celebrities buying prostitution, and all those cases were reported to be cracked based on some clues provided by 朝阳群众. There has always been some 朝阳群众very conveniently providing some crucial clues at some very conveniently time. So we now even have a joke that the top 5 intelligence agencies in the world are CIA, KGB, Mossad, MI6, 朝阳群众. It's written as BJCYQZ, that's short for 北京朝阳群众. So legends has it that it's actually a code used by the real intelligence agencies here when they need to crack some celebrity-related cases. It has never been proved, but I'm 90% confident it's the truth. And why am I still 10% not confident? And that's because I do believe 朝阳群众 can do something like this. They are different. You see, living in the political center of the country has made some old locals there obsessed with anti-espionage activities. For example, like 20 years ago when international brands like KFC entered China, a lot of ridiculous things happened. Sometimes you may see some people protesting in front of those brands, and in cities like Shanghai, like here, you may see aunties protesting in front of a KFC saying they are using some bioengineered chickens with 3 necks, 6 wings. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so much juicy meat all the time, and that is dangerous for our kids. But then, in Beijing, you saw aunties protesting in front of a KFC, accusing them of using the toilet to collect our urine and as biodata to sell to foreign countries, aka US, for espionage purposes. So, all of this is why 朝阳群众 became such a meme. And it now not only refers to people in Chaoyang district or in Beijing, it can be people from anywhere. Sometimes when we talk about US news, talking about some whistleblowers, we may say 美国朝阳群众, US 朝阳群众. Okay, the third communist joke of the day, 无产阶级, the proletariat. This one is becoming more and more popular nowadays. For those who don't know what proletariat means yet, let me passionately read the Wikipedia for you. The proletariat is the social class of wage earners, those members of a society whose possession of significant economic value is their labor power. A member of such a class is a proletarian or a proletaire. Simply speaking, it means the working class without much asset. You have to earn your wage to make a living. I think nowadays most middle class are like that. Its Chinese name is more literal, 无产阶级, no asset strata. And by definition, all Chinese citizens are supposed to be proletariat, because this is a country created by the proletariat overthrowing the tyranny of capitalists. But nowadays, this word is more oftenly used as a self-depreciating joke, popular among the white-collar workers and students here. There is a popular expanded version of this, and that's 怕什么？无产阶级失去的只有枷锁. It means, fear what? The proletariat only has its shackle to lose. This is another Communist Manifesto reference, by the way. So what do people mean by saying this? This usually happens before they are about to do some very risky investment, like buying a stock without much knowledge, or buying lotteries, or chain buying blind boxes in PopMart. So the implication here is that you don't have much money to lose in the first place, so how much can you really lose? Let's just spend. This is what I tell myself when buying stocks in the old days. It didn't end well. Okay, the fourth joke we are talking about today is the most abstract one. 唯物辩证, materialist dialectics. I think every student from China you meet would tell you it's a nightmare being dominated by these 4 characters at school. What is materialist dialectics? Again, let me passionately read Wikipedia for you. Dialectical materialism is a materialist theory based upon the writing of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels with widespread applications. As a materialist philosophy, it emphasizes the importance of real-life conditions and the presence of dialectical contradictions, including the social class, labor economics, and socio-economic interactions. Within Marxism, a contradiction is a relationship in which two forces oppose each other, leading to mutual development. If you are not understanding it at all, that's right, you are not meant to be. This is the classical BS someone would tell you when they plan to prove a point that cannot be proved. So the normal formula goes like this. Yes, this, but that, but yes, this, so middle. So my logic is right, my point is right. You have to look at it as a whole, you have to look at it dialectically. And unfortunately, we need to learn this at school. In my humble opinion, this term is just a cover-all phrase that they use when they try to prove some complexities that cannot fit in their theories. It's really painful to learn this at school and to write things about it. And from my observation, that's a common feeling here, and that's why this term became a way to say BS. So for example, when I side-eye my friend and say, 好嘛，他要开始唯物辩证了, it means, oh yeah, this is gonna BS again. So, if someone seriously mentions materialist dialectics to you in their reasoning, this is either an idiot or a charlatan, or both. Get away from that person. Okay, the final communist joke we are talking about today, maybe my favorite, is called 赢麻了. It literally means you have kept winning too much that you don't feel the sensation anymore, you feel numb. This one, actually, by its own, is not a communist in any way. But it got popular and its new meaning because of something the Communist Party here did. So I decided to categorize it as a communist joke. It's originally from the gaming world. When someone kept winning too much, they may say 赢麻了. It means I have won too much, it's not fun to win anymore. You know the character ma? English usually translates it to numb. You know the feeling when you sit on your leg for too long and then you stand up and you have that feeling on your leg and you can't walk. Or when you eat some food that's heavy on Sichuan peppercorn and you have that numbing sensation on your tongue, that's also ma. Or when you binge watch some dramas the whole night all the way to the morning and near the morning you can no longer process the emotions in the drama, that's also ma. We use ma to describe all these kind of sensations. That's why it's called 赢麻了. Won too much, no sensation anymore. And now it has a new layer of meaning because of some fantastic thing the Communist Party did. It's now a sarcastic way to say somebody definitely didn't win, even though they say they are winning. Why? You see, there is one thing very annoying here in China, and that is the authority keeps saying they are right, they have always been right, they have been right in the first place. Nobody has ever been more right than them. Someone says it's the most tremendous right you have ever seen, and it's a win after win after win after win after win after another win. They do this even when everybody can see there is clearly something off and they are not winning. For example, in the late stage of the grand COVID lockdown, they still kept saying that. So people started to say 对对对赢麻了. This may not be the first time this phrase got this new meaning, but it's the time when this meaning became popular. So now when you hear 赢麻了, it's usually more of the sarcastic way. People now use this a lot on Trump. Okay, that is today's video of the communist jokes that people now use here. Thank you all for watching this far. I hope you find this video helpful. And besides these videos, I now also post some trivial knowledges that are too trivial to make into videos. I'm posting them in the membership thread. So if you are interested in that, subscribe to the membership. And again, for the new viewers, I'm Maxi. I usually talk about Mandarin, but sometimes just some fun facts about China here. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, if you like what I'm doing, please leave a like and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.